Hey guys, Country Boy here, bringing you another Smite how-to guide. I wanted my first guide on Team Yeti to be the man himself, Yeti Kumbha. Kinda makes everything all worth it, don't it? But anyway, if you watch my previous videos, they usually didn't go over 5 minutes, but I wanted to really take my time on this one, so I can not only bring you the builds for just Joust, Arena, Siege, and Assault, but I also wanted to bring some Conquest builds into this also, because I didn't do a whole lot of Conquest, so I want to actually start putting those builds in here also. Now, first I want to let you know that I am playing Arena with my good buddy Jacob, Turtle Hermit. He is also in the game. He's playing the Kumbhakarna, wherever he's at on here. We're playing the Sunder Guardians. If you've never seen it before, we both buy an upgraded Sunder and we just wreck faces with it. It's just pretty fun. But anyway, first I wanted to cover the builds for Joust, Arena, Siege, and this build also works good on Assault, so it's kind of a universal build. Conquest isn't a big difference, they just may be some changes, but not a whole lot. The first item is Shoes of Focus or Reinforced Shoes. Whichever one you choose is fine. I went Reinforced Shoes on this one because I wanted to be more tanky than usual, is the reason being. The second item I like to use is Hide the Urchin. Get that on as soon as possible so you can start getting those stacks up to make yourself yet even more tankier. Now, if you're playing Assault, I would go with Hide the Urchin first, then the Boots second. That way you can get those defenses on a whole lot quicker because you can't back and buy items. It's only when you die can you go buy items on Assault. Now the third and fourth items are depending on what protections you need more. If there's more magic damage than physical, I would go with the Heartward Amulet first, and then Sovereignty. Now if the roles are reversed, and you need more physical protection than magic first, I would go with Sovereignty, then Heartward Amulet. But whichever one you want to use, it's totally left up to you. That's just my personal look on it, and that's how I usually play it. Now the fifth and the sixth items are depending on how you want to play Kumbha. If you want to play the more supportive role, I would look into Gauntlet of Thebes and Shogun's Kasari. Those two items gives your mages and your physical dealers a lot more attack speed. So if you have like a Kronos or Soul on your team, it helps them out a lot, a whole lot. Or if you have hunters on your team. But we'll get into that. That's more of a conquest type of build there. Now if you wanted to do a damage build, and this usually works good on Arena and Assault and Joust and things like that, I would go into like a Soul Reaver for sure. Void Stone if you needed a little bit more protections along with some damage, or Shaman's Ring. Totally left up to you what power items you want to use because they're all good really. Now some good items to look for besides the ones I mentioned, you have Stone of Gaia, Wing Blade, and Mantle of Discord. Those are also three good items that you can look into, and they work really well with the Kumbha build. Now that we have Joust covered, let's talk about Conquest. There's not a lot changed with the build because Kumbha isn't a very flexible god. He's best played as a Guardian and a Guardian only. Some of the Guardians you could take into solo, but I wouldn't recommend doing with Kumbha because he does do some good damage, but not enough. He's best as a tanky Guardian. So I start with Watcher's Gift and the T1 boots, Mana Chalice, and some health potions to begin with, just so we can sustain in the lane as long as we possibly can. Now after we back and we finish out the boots, I go into the Hide of the Urchin. Like I said guys, there's not a whole lot difference from from the arena build. Now the next two items, as the same as last time. If you're fighting more in the mid lane and you need magic protections, go with Heartwood. But if you're fighting in a duo, go with Sovereignty. That's the best advice I could give on that. But ultimately, you do want both of these, so whichever one you decide to build into first, make sure you build the second one after. Now, after you get those two items built, the next I would build into Shogun's Kasari. Now, this is if you have a hunter on your team. If they're playing a Soul or Chronos, one of the carry mages, instead of going Shogun's Kasari, I would go Gauntlet of Thebes because it helps out mages attack speed. But if you want to go both, go both. I mean, if you happen to have a Soul in mid and a Rama in duo, go both of them if you want. Totally left up to you. Now, relics. Relics are always dependent on who you're facing. Bead, Shell, and Sprint are probably my top three. But you can also go with like Thorns, Med, or Blink. Whichever one you really want is just totally left up to you. But, oh, I almost forgot. If you don't go with Shogun's Kasari or Gauntlet of Thebes, the last items that you can actually go into, it's really good, is Mantle of Discord. Like you can't go wrong with that because it gives you, if they get you down enough, it'll throw out that stun for a second, hopefully give you enough time to get away. Now, tips with Kumba. If you've never played Kumba before, he's a very basic guardian. His skills, his 1 is like a dash, and if you hit him with it, it does damage. His 2 is a root that when you hit him, it does damage and holds him in place. His 3 is a sleep, and his ultimate is a knock up, and it comes down, and they take damage, and anybody in the ring takes damage with it. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Become a member of Team Yeti, and we will see you in the next one.